All right, welcome back. Glad you're here. CBSPhilly.com/Rich, 855-839-1210, pound 1210 in a cell. So there's a movie out now, which I highly, highly recommend you see. It's called Hillary's America. And here joining me, the filmmaker himself, Mr. Dinesh D'Souza. Dinesh, how are you, sir?
Hey, good, thanks. It's great to be on the show.
Well, listen, I've admired your work for a long time. I know you just had a screening yesterday, I think, with Dom Giordano, or last week with Dom Giordano, very close here. Hillary's America, people love it. My friends saw it. They thought it was great. I'm recommending it to everybody.
It's awesome. Yeah, we just had our second weekend in the theater. So the movie's only been out really a little over a week, 10 days. And already it's the #1 documentary of the year. And it's in the top 10 political documentaries of all time. So we're giving good old Michael Moore a run for his money.
Now, are you surprised that the critics have not given it a glowing review?
Well, no, because, the critics are mainly progressives, they're leftists, and this is a movie that, if true, destroys their worldview. It's an attack on the whole moral capital of the Democratic Party. So, the Democratic Party, basically their claim to rule is we're the party of the ordinary guy, the little guy. We fought for emancipation and civil rights. We fight for immigrants and outsiders and minorities. And what I do in this movie is I show that the Democratic Party has been the very opposite of that. The Democratic Party has actually been the party of slavery, of segregation, of Jim Crow, of the Ku Klux Klan, of lynching, forced sterilization, support for Nazism and fascism in the 1930s. They're the ones who interned the Japanese Americans after World War II. So this is the whole actual sordid history of this Democratic Party. It has never acknowledged its sins. It's never apologized for them. What it does is it takes all the things it did and it blames it on the South, or blames it on the Republicans, or blames it on America. America did this, America did that. No, America didn't do it. You did it.
Dinesh D'Souza, what do you say to people who come back and say, well, that's true, but the two parties, they flipped in the 1960s?
Yeah, this is the so-called doctrine of the big switch, and I discuss it in the movie, and I discuss it in more detail in my book, Hillary's America. So let's examine this for a second. Who switched? It turns out that one guy switched, one guy, and that is Strom Thurmond, who used to be a Dixiecrat. He became a Republican. But there were literally hundreds, if not thousands, of these guys. Look, every Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, every racist Democrat going back 100 years. I made a list of 1,500 of these guys. Less than 1% of them switched to the Republicans. So this whole big switch thing is completely bogus. Again, it's another technique for avoiding responsibility and avoiding blame.
Dinesh D'Souza, you've had some run-ins with the government. I know that they've targeted you for some of your books and some of your movies in the past.
Yeah, boy, if they were upset at me for my last film, the one on Obama 4 years ago, I can only imagine how they're going to react to this one, because they got me on a technical violation of the campaign finance laws. I was trying to help a friend of mine who was running for the Senate. I gave $20,000 over the campaign finance limit. Now, I didn't do it with any corrupt intent. I was merely trying to help an old pal. But they went after me as though I was Al Capone. I got locked up for 8 months overnight in a federal confinement center. But look, I'm not embarrassed about it. I learned from it. I took those scenes. I actually recreated them and stuck them right in this new movie, Hillary's America.
What are your thoughts on the media and how the media is going to treat Hillary Clinton from now until the election?
We're actually beginning to realize that we sort of have a media that resembles the old Soviet media. I mean, these people are actually shameless, and they have no scruples. I mean, our movie is a small example. Here we are. We've got the biggest political movie in the country. Not a whisper from CNN, ABC, NBC. Now, if I were Michael Moore, they'd be fawning all over me. I'd be on Good Morning America. The Today Show would never stop. But because this movie runs against their worldview, they don't even have the guts to debate it. That's because they don't know anything. They're mere cheerleaders for the Democratic camp. So I expect this to be a ferociously hard-fought election. Trump and the Republicans have an uphill climb, just partly because the media is such a huge megaphone. And when the left has Hollywood and the media, that's for pretty powerful forces working against you.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump would be wise to realize the media is not his friend.
It's not his friend. And now, here's the weird thing. So we have a movie. It's in 1,200 theaters around the country. If I were Michael Moore, the whole Democratic Party would be behind me. You would think that the RNC would be behind this film saying, listen, how can we help you get the word out? I haven't heard one whisper from those guys. And so I don't get it. I mean, it's extremely strange. We're going to make our movie successful no matter what. But this is a movie that could hugely help to unify the Republican Party, to win over independents, sow seeds of dismay among the Democrats. And from the RNC, we've heard not a whisper.
You've had some high-level Hollywood types who've helped you make this movie, right, Dinesh?
Yeah, my partner is Jerry Molen, who is longtime partner of Steven Spielberg. And Molen's been involved with a huge number of huge movies, from Minority Report, Jurassic Park, Hook, Schindler's List. So this is a very well-made movie. It doesn't feel like a documentary at all. In fact, it's made at the quality of Spielberg's Lincoln. It feels like a feature film, except it's true. It's full of information that's valid and accurate and jaw-dropping. That's why I wrote the book, because a lot of people say, well, can you prove that? Is this really true? I make statements. At one point I said that in the year of the Civil War, no Republican owned a slave. All the slaves in the entire United States were owned by Democrats. And we had black actors in the movie who came up to me and said, can you support that? Can you back it up? And the answer is yes, I can. And my book, Hillary's America, has chapter and verse.
Well, the movie is Hillary's America. Dinesh D'Souza. Hey, listen, Dinesh, keep up what you're doing, and thanks for making the time, and best of luck with the movie.
May I say the website, Hillary's America, themovie.com. If you plug in your zip code, it'll tell you where the movie is playing near you.
Great. And bring a friend.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Dinesh. Appreciate it very much. Good luck. Appreciate it.